beautiful booby trap.
Welcome to the Booby Trap Podcast, Accessory Reel. This is a bonus companion track that features Tata and Mamie's commentary as we watch the film together. Join us on this accessory reel for the film A Romance of the Redwoods, 1917.
Oh,
Do you like the mask?
how the hell was the cigarette under the bandana?
Well, he just put the lighter on, so.
Ah,
But I don't think he takes a cigarette out like for the rest of the movie.
he has to quit. Good for him.
But I also saw him smoking and drinking at the same time, so he never took the cigarette out of his mouth.
You know, I don't remember when we talked about this. Did she do talkies?
She did.
A few, yeah.
I mean, and you saw her when she was older too, I believe.
Yeah, but not
rarely,
like Lily and
but-
Gish. Lily and Gish, I saw her in something. I think it was
she's been-
Betty Davis, I believe. The Whales or the something like that. But God Lord, she was like 80, 90 years old and she was gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so her uncle went to the California gold fields 2 months ago. So essentially he's going cross country. This is the thing too. You have all these East Coasters going to the West, and I don't think they really knew what they were going to expect, right? They had no idea. Like,
No.
here you are in this beautiful parlor, and it's more of like an adventure, right?
Right.
Not knowing like the dangers, and hey, you know what? You might not find gold, and you're going to be.
But she's in mourning, right?
She is. I think her mother died, so she knows what her uncle looks like. She has that picture. I was mentioning that the music in this version is so much better than the one I was watching the other day. At least it had music. When it has nothing, it's like, okay, it needs something.
I think she was tiny, right? That's why she could get away with playing kids.
I think so. I mean, all the men seem very tall around her.
I think she was very well. She could play. She could play a child, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
she was very slight and small.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. She's so far back behind the wagon trail. She's going to get picked off by the Native Americans. Now, this is the thing. He just decides to shoot his horse. So at least he has some kind of cover. He said his horse is perfectly fine. Now he has a dead horse. But he needed something because obviously that was going to protect him against the 40, people riding on horses coming, towards him. He
I
didn't
have
kill
a feeling
mule,
this
he
is
killed a
when.
horse.
So this is about her going out to see her Uncle John,
Yeah.
and I have a feeling this is when. Oh, this is when Uncle John
So he dies.
disappears from the plot.
Yes, he's now dead. But
He probably shouldn't have been by himself shooting at like 50 Native Americans.
Yeah, I mean, he was at the very end of. He wasn't even right behind the wagon train, right? He was like very far behind. No, you should have been like right on top of them.
Yeah,
Not
but if he
straggling.
doesn't die at the beginning, the plot doesn't go very far,
True.
does it?
That was
So
more, that was more practicality.
Yeah.
If
So I always get practical in these movies. Is that toilet paper? No, never mind.
I mean, honestly, think about it. Oregon Trail. Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yes, usually you die of dysentery, but
Why is she taking a wedding dress with her?
once again, I don't think they really understand what it's going to be like out there, right?
Yeah, I think she's gonna get it. Yeah.
So you're going from Boston?
Oh, it's to a ball. Yeah.
Yeah, so
'Cause
you're going to go to Boston to the gold fields of somewhere in California.
So when we talked earlier in the podcast, we talked about discovering who you are or figuring out who you are. Was it something like that?
I think that was more like kind of a redemption type of thing,
Who
but
you are?
discovering who you really truly are, right?
Because I think we're already into this, knowing that that her expectations are not managed, but she's never seen it.
She's never been out there. I mean, obviously, her uncle didn't know enough.
I mean,
got killed.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I went to Germany and I had a nervous breakdown when I went to Aldi, and there's Aldi's here, but it was in German, and I was like, "Where's my tea? Where's my yogurt? What?" Literally, I had to be sent back to the hotel because I had a breakdown. So, no, yeah. So, I get it. You know.
There's her little
Derringer. Why is she
But
holding it like she
look
found
at-
them?
Yeah, she's obviously never fired it before.
Well, she's holding it like she found a mouse.
But look, it has 4 barrels. I'm very impressed. So I will say that I've always wanted like a little Derringer, but like one that had multiple barrels.
Well, it'll put a hole in you.
You probably, I don't think you've been, but the NRA has a museum of guns, and it's pretty cool because there's a vampire one in there. So if you need to kill vampires, they have a vampire gun that has little vampire bullets and a stake that you can screw on. The NRA museum.
That could come in handy.
Yes.
You know,
it's super cool.
Yeah, I've decided I have ghosts in this house. Keith says no, I say yes. This is Black Brown. I think he's the villain of the whole thing.
He is. Although there's definitely, I think, other villains.
I wonder if this is all along the lines of Black Bart. Oh, what a hairline.
Maybe. Oh, okay. I guess he's listening for the horse hooves.
So somewhere, okay, so we were talking about this earlier. Somewhere in the background, it's like, lay down on the ground. Look ominous. Get back up on the horse. And this is, again, it's funny, but at the same time, it's why a lot of things did not make it to the talkies. You can't do that. And these actors, without being given seriously, I can name a few actors and actresses present day that can't, unless you just direct them every step of the way.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And when you couldn't shout it out to them, or there weren't cue cards or all these other things, they couldn't act. And so, I mean, I think I have the cast of this movie, right? Kind of printed it out. So like, who's the who's who? Because I always do this before our podcasts. And I won't bore you, but then I will. Have you ever heard of Gene Parker?
Well, look at this. He's looking directly at the camera. That's so unusual.
Right.
You don't really see that much, even in today's films, unless they're like directly talking to the audience, right?
Yeah. But I do like how he's committed to the cigarette. He's back to smoking again.
I mean, that cigarette will never leave his mouth.
So I'm gonna ask you: have you ever heard of Gene Parker?
Gene Parker?
No,
I don't think so.
And Schumacher? Nope.
No.
Now Pat O'Malley. If I'm not mistaken, Pat O'Malley, how interesting, did Disney character voices.
Really?
And Aristocats, but I might be wrong about that. My point being, in naming a few of these, is how many didn't make it. Of the Mary Pickfords you hear about, and the John Barrymores, that most did not make it.
Right.
The Charlie Chaplins. And even Charlie Chaplin's talkie career was The Great Dictator, nothing but controversy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a classic, but they never made it.
Yeah. Well, and like I was saying, I think, a lot of and you were too, where it's like a lot of, when you look at the names in some of these like early silent films, like they're obviously from all over the world. Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have to speak English.
Yeah, they don't need to, right? And so you had all these like gorgeous women and men in these films, but yeah, they definitely weren't able to speak well. What's the Singing in the Rain? Essentially, that movie talks about that transition from silent films to talkies, and you have that one woman who is like, she's this great star, but her voice is terrible.
Oh,
and she can't sing either.
Who was that? And it was just like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Who was that was so famous for that? And she was enormous in silent films. And next thing you know, we'll have to, you and I know we do trivia for the listeners. I got to figure this one out, because I know exactly what you're talking about and who you're talking about. And it was the end of her career, and she was very prominent in these, and it was over.
I'm not sure who exactly they were kind of, the movie was about, like a particular person per se, but it obviously was talking about the era, right? That transition time period. And so obviously, they had Debbie Reynolds in the background singing and talking on behalf of this woman, because obviously, but I mean, even for Gene Kelly, like he was also like struggling as part of it too, but at least he could speak okay and sing, because that was important too.
So because I'm the nosiest person alive, I did the Pat O'Malley because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not the Disney. I haven't got the Disney part, but he is going to show up. So let's look for him. He plays, although it's going to be hard to tell who's playing who in a silent picture, as Yerks. He's going to show up in our later movie of Dial M for Murder. Hitchcock. Does all things come back to Hitchcock? It seems like it does. And you do know Hitchcock did a silent film.
Yes, it's the Farmer Takes a Wife, right?
Lodger.
The Lodger. But he also did one that was like a
one you wouldn't expect, right? Yeah. Yep, I think you're right. Just one you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
But The Lodger, from what I understand, I've never sat through it, but from what I understand, is quite the movie.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch that one too.
Yeah, we will.
Like I said, I'm enjoying this song, this music. It's actually like making you want to watch the film versus the other one. Like I said, the other one was. I was trying to look at two versions. One was totally silent, no music whatsoever, and then the other had this other music. It just didn't really fit. Like it was obviously someone just threw some music on, but when you listen to this music, it definitely sounds like this is the sort of music that would go along really well with the silent film. You know,
absolutely. I would love to see this, and again, we're going to go back to we're going. I've made up my mind. We're going. We got to do this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to make sure. Like, essentially, we'll have to ensure that they're playing films and everything when we go there. So, because they don't have films happening all the time. So,
you know, it's taken me a long time to get to the Disney portion of Pat O'Malley because his acting career, especially in television, we remember, and I'm only mentioning this. We're talking about who made it and who didn't.
Yeah.
Is prolific. It goes on forever and ever.
Wow.
Brady Bunch, Barney Mel, it just goes on and on and on.
So wait.
Here we go. Remember I said Disney. So we talk about he was in as the Cockney costermonger in Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I would like points for saying that.
5 points extra.
I get it. High five me, girl.
High five.
I should get a t-shirt. Buzzy and Jungle Book.
He was who?
Colonel Hathey, which is the one in the elephant parade. Keep it up. Boom, boom, boom. Buzzy and Jungle Book.
Wait a minute. So, like, when was
he was Pat O'Malley? He was Dick Van Dyke's dialect coach in Mary Poppins.
So wait, when was he born?
I'm telling you, right? I mean, I got to scroll because, I mean, I knew his name immediately. I was wrong about what I thought he was in as far as, I think I was thinking in Aristocats, O'Malley, the alley cat.
The alley cat, yeah.
I got my O'Malleys all mixed up. But he was born, he died on my birthday. Well, I shouldn't sound so happy about that. March 15th, 1904. In Lancaster, England.
Okay, so yeah,
so see, there's an English. You talk about different. Died movie. February 27th, 1985, at age 80. And again, I shouldn't sound so excited that he died on my birthday. I was like, oh, he died on my birthday, so that wasn't nice. But I'm telling you, you got to look him up sometime, Tata, because I kid you not. I knew who he was. But I had no idea that he was just Gunsmoke. I'm not even.
Wow. Okay.
It is amazing. Now, what I want to do, how am I going to figure out in this silent film which one he is? Because he would have had to have been. What is this? This movie was
1917.
1917, and he was born in. Let's do some math here. He was born in 1904. So he's what?
Okay. Well,
13 years old in this movie. So it's going to be a kid.
Okay. I don't think there were any major kids in here, but
Yerky. Look for Yerky.
Oh, well.
Could this be it? Step Up Boys, the male? No, that's wrong kind of boys.
I mean, there is a younger guy, like the guy, that short guy. He is younger, but is that a 13-year-old? I don't think so.
Some people may have seen him in Twilight Zone. I mean, this man was all over television. From the 50s going forward. He was everywhere.
Yeah, see that cigarette's still in his mouth.
I think it's the same cigarette. That's got to be moist by now. It just has to be. You think?
Oh my goodness, he took it out for a moment.
Lots of Westerns. I'm sorry I'm still going on about Pat O'Malley, but I'm super excited about this.
I mean, so there is like a younger guy in here. Maybe it's him. Like I said,
if it's Yerke, it's just so hard to tell because in the silent films, that they don't go out. I mean, they have like the who plays who,
yeah,
but without them calling by name. When you're like,
and sometimes they did do that, right? Mm-hmm. They'd have it say like, "Oh, here's this character," and they'd have the name, which was very helpful. This one did not do that though.
God. This guy did not quit almost until the day he passed away. I'm not kidding you as I keep just looking. He passed away 1985 and he was working pretty much every single day.
Wow.
From 13 years old until he passed away. That is amazing. That's an amazing career right there. I know we've talked about Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks and their amazing contributions. But as I read through this, I can only say that he, as I'm doing, deserves a super shout out.
I wonder, so, okay, he was playing in a different movie. That's why it doesn't make any sense.
What is it?
So he played in another film called Romance of the Redwoods, which is not the same film at all.
What the heck?
It's in 1939.
Well, I just want to kick Wikipedia right in the shins or punch him in the throat. What the hell?
But it could be another person that has the same name. But
another Pat O'Malley. Well, okay. Guess
what? I mean, that's a pretty.
We learned all about Pat O'Malley tonight, and it has nothing to do with this. Well, somebody write Wikipedia. See, I'm still writing those letters, And
yeah. So from what I'm reading here is that it's the 1939 version, which once again, it's a totally different story. It's almost like once again, it is in the Redwoods, and it is about logging.
Boy, am I mad!
But I think that makes more sense then.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Because I'm like, I don't know that there's any kids in this movie.
This says Pat. Okay, wrong Pat O'Malley. This is why in present day Hollywood, actors and even back then, starting probably in the 40s, 30s, 40s, actors and actresses sometimes would have to change their name. Sometimes, I mean, do we want to talk about what Mary Pickford's Christian name is?
Yeah.
It ain't good. It's like Gladys Smith, Gladys. It's not nice. Although my grandmother's name was Gladys, but you don't see a lot of Gladyses running around anymore.
No.
Why they either because the name was just ooh, but a lot of times because actually it might have been her is because but if not her is because if the name is too similar to another actress or an actor to avoid confusion, which is just what happened to me. So I fully endorse it because I just went on off a serious tangent about.
I mean, it's.
If this was the Pat O'Malley podcast, you'd be all educated.
At the end of the day, I mean, it's totally feasible. Maybe he was in here. I don't know, but from what I'm reading,
you're right. You're right.
1939.
Tata, when you're right, my friend.
And once again, even though it has very similar titles, they're technically not the same storyline.
Yes, but all I can say is for this episode, welcome to the Pat O'Malley podcast.
So someone that actually wasn't in this film, but we wanted to chat about a lot.
Hey, he was amazing, and I know who he is, and he was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
people should stop naming their kids Pat O'Malley immediately.
I mean, it's truly amazing. You think about all the stuff that he did. So, I mean, that's really cool. I feel like,
Well, I have a feeling this guy's a loser.
It
goes back to her point of who doesn't make it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, how many names do we recognize?
I should have known it because he didn't even get a highlight to click on. What the hell was I thinking? Because it kept occurring to me. I'm like, doesn't he have a highlight to click on? Now we know why. Because he's a nobody. Well, he's Yerkes.
No, Yerkes is in the other film.
We're still in the other film? What,
right?
I don't know. What cast did I pull up here?
No, yeah, this is from 1939. This is a different story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like I said, it's because the names are pretty much the same that is extremely confusing.
Oh, this guy's a dishwasher. Well.
Yeah. And
okay,
it's like,
don't watch that movie. I don't even know the name of it, but boy, are my facts wrong.
no, it's pretty much called the same thing. So that's why there's a lot of confusion.
What would I do here without you to steer me in the right direction? It's
a talkie. It has Jean Arthur. I'm like, yeah, Jean Arthur. Yeah, that makes sense. But I was confused because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense for this film.
Oh. Well, is this movie actually based on Jack London, or am I wrong about that too?
This film is not, yeah.
No?
No.
But that's what it says. Boy,
it's the other film.
Okay, fine. It's Monday's a prescription, a trip to the optometrist, and then to the brain surgeon. What the hell, man? People come here for fun facts, and I'm just over on who knows where I'm at. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like a Friends episode of Trifle. There was beef in it because the pages stuck together. That's what I feel right now, is a Friends Trifle. Hopefully people get that. Sorry, Mary. Too much clicking. I should stick to those letters. Feel free to cut all that out. That's what I get for being a smarty pants, right?
Well, it happens, right? I mean,
well, not to everybody, but hey, he's finally smoked that damn cigarette almost to a butt.
Has he? It's still in his mouth.
But it's shorter.
Is it shorter slightly?
I'm assuming that to create the illusion of being ominous, a cigarette will do it. I know when I used to smoke, when I'd smoke, people were like, "Ooh, you're ominous."
I can see it. You know,
remember when I smoked? Did you look at me sometimes and go,
yeah, I'd be like, what the hell?
You're ominous.
I'm going to walk way far away from that lady.
I looked like trouble, didn't I?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it. That's why I looked like trouble.
Yeah, look how tiny she is compared to...
Oh, she's a little bitty thing. I am curious, although I'm scared to Google anything else, how short she is. It's going to come back that Mary Pickford was 6'5". Right?
Well, those guys are giants then. But yeah, I think, she's very slight.
I'm your uncle.
It's like, no.
She has a picture. Oh, yeah, this is a whole different cast of characters.
Well, no, it was funny.
Did you figure out what movie this is?
Well, I've seen this movie before.
Give me back my notes. Give me back my notes, lady.
Jean Parker, I'm like, kind of like, what? Well, yes, but I'm thinking the wrong person because there's obviously she can't be in this film.
Well, I stand behind the fact that these people are losers because none of them have a link to their name. Well,
but it must be this. It has to be then the guy that you were talking about. But yes, he's in this other film.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
you actually were correct, but it was just the wrong film.
Okay, let's talk about Black Brown with a cigarette.
Where did that name come from?
You know, one of the things too, which is kind of tragic, and I think it has to do with her, although maybe not, because Lionel Barrymore was notorious about it, is alcoholism. How many of these drank themselves to death?
Well, it sounded like for Mary Pickford, her family actually had a lot of alcoholism in her family, and that actually was a pretty big issue between her and Douglas Fairbanks.
Yeah.
But and later on in life, she also became a pretty heavy alcoholic. So
I think she survived the flu epidemic too.
That would make sense because it was what
she did. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, when was that? 1914.
Well, let's see if I can Google
1915.
The Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it right. 1918 to 1920.
So absolutely, because this is 1917, and so she lived to be in her old age, whatever. So
she did.
Because her and Douglas Fairbanks divorced. She got remarried.
Right. Yeah. Well, and again, that is much like.
Although I think she was actually very close still to Douglas Jr.
Yeah, but that tracks because remember I was saying earlier about how they were considered the first Hollywood royalty.
Yeah. And
the first thing I came up with is like a Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. There's other couples, of course.
Yeah.
And this particular thing didn't Actually, Brad Pitt and well, actually, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a Hollywood present day Hollywood couple, which the reason she's gonna shoot. She brought a gun to a knife fight.
Well, look at the difference of guns.
I know.
Like, oh my goodness.
Just like a man, he's gonna show his figure.
Yeah, but look.
Yeah.
I think he gives the gun to her to shoot.
Trust me, that Dillinger put a hole in you.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons their marriage failed was the public pressure, was being so much in the spotlight. And you hear that about Hollywood couples now, is that, or even rock whatever, is because the pressure of their relationship
have to be, like, on, right?
It causes a strain because it's so public. Notice that all the Hollywood relationships that last is because Kira Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon, Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks, all those, is that you don't see them red carpeting it that much. It's a rarity. And they don't put their relationship out there for public display because Hollywood will just eat them up.
Yeah.
And even back then that was happening. Hollywood's brand new, maybe didn't even have that much paparazzi, but still the pressure of the fame destroyed their marriage.
Yeah. And I think also a little bit too, like, they had very different personalities. So I think she was less wanting to be out and about with people, whereas he was very much like the social kind of butterfly, right? Like, always around people, wanting to, like, go and do stuff. But at the same time, like, that actually balances couples out too, right? So you have that balancing activity. But, once again, if you're constantly go, 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 and having someone who's like, hey, I don't really want to be around people, that's tough too, I think.
Right, I agree. And without getting into another actor that has nothing to do with this movie, but to Mary Pickford, is so after Douglas Fairbanks, after she and Douglas Fairbanks divorced, she ended up marrying a gentleman by the name of Charles Buddy Rogers, which during the 1920s and 30s, he was America's boyfriend. And let me tell you, they were married until his death. They got married in 1937 and were married until 1979 when he passed away.
Wow.
What is that? You know how my math is. So
that's a number of years for sure.
That's a number of them. Yeah, it's that many.
Well,
and he was a star in his own right, but I tell you what, you probably wouldn't ever talk about Buddy Rogers and Mary Pickford, which is the difference, is that she probably learned her lesson from Douglas Fairbanks' marriage and kept it under wraps.
Yeah.
I've heard of him, but also sometimes they will use relationships, Hollywood relationships will tank when, particularly the woman, when one ends up becoming more famous than the other. And it's really, usually the woman becomes more famous, and it's really hard for the spouse to, especially if they were a big star and their star is on the downturn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hollywood's full of tragic stories, right? Don't touch me.
They just, like, threw her to the woods, really.
She's like, all this debauchery? Wow. Gladys Louise Smith.
Oh, like, you gotta wonder, like, it looks like they're pulling her hair around and everything. And he's just watching, grinning, like, ha ha ha. Well, think about it. Once again, she's coming from the East Coast, Boston.
Oh, yeah. Which is socialites, right?
Yeah. To now this rough and ready mining town. And now she's in a saloon, like, with all these rowdy guys and, women. I don't think a normal scene. New experience for sure.
I think I mentioned it is offline. She is what Lucille Ball became in movies, or not movies, excuse me, television. I mean, just a pioneer, strong woman, creative control over everything she did. And Lucille Ball was very, very, when she created Desilu, very much, she called the shots. This is what was, and she was responsible for a lot of success for stars that she mentored and up and coming. And I think I mentioned to you, she's the reason they're Trekkies, right? Because she saves, they wanted to cancel Star Trek. I think they may have even canceled Star Trek. And she brought it back.
I heard about
Think about it, no Star Trek.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care, but I know a lot of people would. I mean, I'm not anti Star Trek, but I'm not a.
Well,
you're
you're either in one group or the other group. Are you a Trekkie or are you a Star Wars fan? So
exactly.
I know your household is more of a Star.
So I give her a shout out only just because. Let's shout it out.
Yeah, you see that young guy? That's who I was thinking. You were thinking.
Oh God, that's not Pat O'Malley.
And like he seems kind of old still.
Yeah,
but that's like the youngest main character guy, and he's not even a main character.
Yeah. So
anyway, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, you're absolutely right, and and I know exactly who Pat O'Malley is.
Yeah.
I can see his face. I can see his body. I know he was prolific in television. Twilight Zone, the whole thing. Always playing somebody's kindly uncle or grandfather or something. But I only say that I brought up Lucille Ball between her and Mary Pickford. Let's hear it for women.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Absolutely. I mean, pioneers. And I don't think
women, glasses up.
Absolutely. And I don't think that they got the credit that they deserved, nor because a lot of times, like think about what is it, Hedy Lamarr and others, right, where they had
the invention. Who's responsible for what scientific? The Telegraph, like all of it.
And essentially, they never were given credit. Credit was given to other men.
That's right.
Which is very unfortunate. Like, there was it's funny. There was a commercial. It was a vehicle commercial, and it was a man's car. And by the way, it doesn't have windshield wipers. It doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. And ultimately, it's because essentially it was for Women's International Day or something when it was released, this commercial. And ultimately, it was identifying all the different parts of a car that you have nowadays that were invented by women.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was a very powerful commercial, actually.
Absolutely. And again, we're talking about her first husband. One of the reasons they broke up is he couldn't handle living in the shadow of fame, and his career never took off. You heard of Owen Moore? Me neither.
So that was
your nerves are. Wait a minute. Your nerves are. But I swear to God, if he doesn't spit out that cigarette, he and I are going to fight. Your nerves are busted.
I don't think
he said busted. Does. Your nerves are busted. He's gaslighting her. That's another movie.
Yes.
Another episode when we get back into Hitchcock, right? And that Owen Moore, she had to give him $100,000 to get out of that marriage.
Wow.
Which adjusted for today, $1.5 million to get him to walk away. Now keep in mind though, getting divorces were tough business back then. You had to have grounds, especially for women.
Yeah.
There was a couple, Clark Gable being one of them. Spencer Tracy's wife, who refused to give him a divorce and didn't have to. Albert, remember I mentioned Albert Einstein? He was actually a guest at Pick Fair, which Pick Fair was Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford's home.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein was a guest.
Einstein? Okay, I keep on hearing Einstein. Who?
Am I saying it wrong? Einstein.
No, you're good. I just wasn't hearing it properly.
Helen Keller.
Wow. Okay.
They were royalty at the time.
Yeah.
Nothing was big. You just can't even imagine how huge they were. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Amelia Earhart before she got lost.
So supposedly the two were actually very much friends. So there was an article
who?
Amelia Earhart and Mary Pickford.
Oh wow. So I did not know that. Well, they were there, but I did not know that.
Supposedly that was the case. There was a little clip that essentially had like an interview with them talking with one another. But supposedly, they were very much friends or friendly to each other for sure.
Wow. It's a who's who. George Bernard Shaw.
Wow.
H.G. Wells. Wow. That's very interesting. I did not know that about Amelia Earhart. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I've noticed this about silent films and old movies a lot. She's gorgeous. There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
And accomplished. But I can't help but note that conditioner had not been yet invented.
Oh, right. It's always like fizzy.
Her hair is just like it's like mine in the middle of summer, just a big old frizzy mess.
Yeah.
Now I feel guilty for saying that as a woman because it's like really she's the queen of cinema, an amazing woman, and she has frizzy hair.
It doesn't distract from her really. I mean, she
Well,
also has straw in her hair too. So
I don't even know what that's about. And as far as her and Douglas Fairbanks, from what I understand, his son had given an interview and said that they had regretted the rest of their lives that they didn't reconcile.
Oh.
Because it turns out it wasn't just the pressure, which it was, ribbon cutting ceremonies and just constant attention.
Go, yeah.
But unfortunately, Mr. Fairbanks went off and did what Mr. Fairbanks did. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't think we have to say, because we know what happens.
Yeah.
You've been having an affair. Suffice it to say, she was no Mary Pickford. And that lady had a spouse or two. Or seven. She was Elizabeth Taylor of the era. Good gravy. Okay.
Now the question was, did he marry her?
5 times.
What?
The one he had an affair with and ultimately ended up ending her marriage. She was married 5 times.
Okay, but he didn't marry her though.
Yep.
Oh, he did.
Yep. They were married for 3 years.
Taylor type of scenario for sure.
They were married 3 years until he died in 1939.
Interesting.
Yep.
Was she married at the time?
Oh, I wouldn't. That I don't know, but that's usually the way that kind of thing goes, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, no, obviously, Obviously
At a minimum, he was. Guess who else?
It could have been she was looking for her next, right?
Guess who else? Yeah, guess who else she was married to? Clark Gable.
Who is this woman?
Her name was, she was a professional marrier. Her name was Sylvia Ashley, or known as Princess Sylvia Jordaze. I'm sure she married into that somewhere along the line. She married a Major Lord, actually. She's whiz. Oh, that's because her last marriage, probably until she passed away, was she married a prince. Wow. Boy, she must have. We gotta look her up, everyone. She must have had something going on, right?
Obviously.
We gotta figure out what this woman had going for her.
Was she? I'm assuming some good looks, but
no, she wasn't. Nothing to write home about.
I mean, she's pretty enough, but not like
she's not a. Oh
gorgeous,
my God!
Like drop dead gorgeous lady.
She wasn't an. Oh my God! Leave Mary Pickford for me. But boy, she was.
Oh look, he has a cigarette in his mouth.
Where's that? Probably in the soup.
But she did shame him quite a bit, so he went and washed his hands.
You know, it really stinks, though. I'm sorry to keep going on about this broad, but she ended up getting married about 680 feet away from Douglas Fairbanks, her second husband. So the heck with the other 4. Well, no, 3. Right? Yeah, 3. But don't you think that he should have been next to Mary, right? That's what.
Well, I mean, they never reconciled, so I can see where that happened, right?
Yeah. But didn't I say that they were married until his death?
Right.
Bringing down the dust from the diggings tomorrow.
No. So when you look at the guys standing next, like, you see how they must have darkened put some makeup on or something, make him.
I love the makeup where you could actually see the line under their chin.
Well, look at all the mascara in that too.
Oh yeah. Well, that's to make him look like
look
he's
at how
Mexican.
look how darker he is then compared to. But you can tell that it's
shoe
makeup.
polish, yeah, pretty much. Just like back then when the Native Americans were, they just put some, brown makeup on. You're good. You're Native American.
Yeah.
Ernest Clyde Atkins. This is one of the reasons I hate Westerns so much. Played an American Indian. Clyde Atkins is. I think he's whiter than I am, or was whiter.
Well, even because like these silent films, the fact that they're black and white. I mean, I'm thinking of like some of these other actors and actresses that that are very famous, especially like when the talkies came through, or the black. They went from black and white to color. You can just see all the makeup that they caked on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, it obviously is so much different than compared to their more natural look. I mean, that's not to say that they aren't wearing makeup. It's just a heck of a lot more natural. They don't have to cake it on because of how the film can pick up.
But they still wear a lot of it, right?
I mean, they did, but I mean, back then, you know, back with the other types of films, you had to really cake it on so you could see, like, because they were like, you know, like lipstick and stuff like that, you know, just so you can like really define the lips and everything.
Yeah, and remember we talked about ironically about the talkies ending careers.
Yeah,
it was what ended Douglas Fairbanks.
Is that what happened?
It absolutely is, which is a revelation to me.
Oh, I did not realize that.
It just kept going this way, and there was nothing wrong. I mean, Douglas Fairbanks, but and
I know I get him and the son a little confused, so I'm surprised at that. When was, I mean, at that point, how old was the son, I guess?
What? I'm sorry.
Like, at that point, like, was the son kind of taking over his roles?
A little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that might have also been part of it.
And I think some people, sometimes myself included, get he and Errol Flynn confused because they both had that kind of swashbuckling, you know, the difference being is, if I'm remembering correctly, Errol Flynn pretty much drank himself to death.
Yeah.
And Douglas Fairbanks died very young.
I think this is probably the most natural scene right here where she's laughing about stuff.
I will tell you that, and it was a terrible movie. I went to movie theater to see it, and every once in a while when I see it can catch it on streaming, it's a movie called Ghost Story. Douglas Fairbanks Jr. was in that, and they were all old men. And telling ghost stories to each other. Not a good movie. It really isn't. It's not terrible. It's not on the likes of the remake of The Jazz Singer. Yeah. But it did Melvin Douglas. It did the old, and they were all very old. But scared the bejeebies out of me when I went to see it at the movie theater when it came out. I mean, his son lived to be 90.
Wow.
Won a Silver Star, by the way.
Yeah,
but he was married to Joan Crawford. I'll forgive him for that. Because remember I said I'm Team Betty all the way.
Yes.
Joan Crawford's face just annoys me for just the fact that it's her face.
Well, during that time period too, well, especially the early days, the eyebrows, the lack of eyebrows. I think there's like one movie that I actually like her in, and I have to think about what it's called. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Well, she was in The Women. That was actually pretty good. Oh, Autumn Leaves. That's what it's called.
Oh, he's warming up.
Oh, he's falling in love.
Oh, brother. You know what they say? Don't get stars in your head. Stars in your eyes will burn your head off.
I mean, they've known each other for like 2 days now. Oh, now he's upset.
Uh-oh.
He's jealous. That's why.
So that movie I was talking about with Douglas Fairbanks Jr. was 1981.
Oh my goodness.
So I was, oh God, I got to do more math. 26 when I went to see it.
Wow.
Wow. No wow, Tata. Come on now. Wow. Yes, I used to be 26. I didn't get here. I didn't just get born and skip right over. But I went to see it at the movie theater, and it genuinely was scary to me. But the biggest claim to fame on it is had all the old actors in it.
Right.
John Houseman.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. Like, I didn't realize for some of these, like some of the films, like in the 80s and that, where you're watching it like with some of the older people that are in these films, and you're just like, huh, that person kind of looks familiar. It's not until like I'm watching an earlier film, I'm watching it going, oh my gosh, that's the person. I was like, that looked familiar.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's 50 years later.
And also had Fred Astaire. Yeah. Oh yeah, I get you.
And you know, and some of them, like, you know, they're so well known, and maybe they didn't really change that all much. But some of them, they're very famous still, but you don't maybe see them as frequently in the films, or they're not always like on the TV or whatever compared to some of the other actors and actresses.
That's why I think you and I have talked about this before, that I always, now if you remember, sometimes at the end, but a lot of movies at the early days, the cast of characters were usually at the beginning. Not at the end like they are now, because you sit through.
Well, you have the main ones.
You sit through the credits now, and it's a whole that's a whole lifetime that you're spending. But I've always watched in old movies. I watch through because sometimes you get down and it's like somebody who that was their first role, that was the first time you saw them, and boom, there they are. Point in case, who's our favorite guy?
Cary Grant.
And I can tell you, seeing him in She Done Him Wrong with Mae West, the pancake makeup that you and I talked about, you could clearly, I mean, his jawline, it was a hard stop. And I think he played her chauffeur. And that was one of his first, besides that crazy one we saw where he was in that movie where he was a totally different Cary Grant. He was just too serious. He was a bad guy. I don't want to see Cary Grant as a bad guy.
No.
But really, when he was Cary Grant, like, was that Mae West movie. And the first time I saw that, I'm like, whoa, I know who that is. But it's hard. It's a hard watch. And he didn't have much in it. She tried to seduce him.
Yeah.
But seeing the makeup and everything, and because they kept that for a long time after which it's hard to watch the ones with the first talkies, because they kept a lot of the formula of the silent films, and it didn't translate well. Yeah. It's like the grand gestures and the overacting and all that kind of stuff that came with it, the makeup and stuff, and they finally found their way.
Well, so kind of talking about that too. So it always brings up. So I think one of like Clint Eastwood's earliest films when he was very young. So it was 1956, but it was the first traveling sales lady. It had Ginger Rogers and Carol Channing in it.
Oh,
and he
Carol
was like
Channing? What an odd combination. Yeah, right?
And then Clint Eastwood, so he's like a secondary character.
Boy, is that I would not put that in a stew.
I'm like watching this film and going like, wait a minute, that looks like Clint Eastwood.
I swear to God, I would not put that in a stew. I would not put that combination in a stew, because I swear to God, it would come out tasting terrible.
Once again, it's not the best film you've ever seen. Yeah. It's about automobiles. This woman trying to sell automobiles and that during this time period of change again. Thank you. It was kind of bizarre to see him in that too. But again, hey, you're starting into this career, you take what you can get, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very eclectic cast.
So, wow. Yeah. Is that a doll in the background or one of those?
It's a doll.
She's still, okay, we're how many minutes into this movie? Hours, weeks, days. And she still thinks that that's her uncle.
No. She knew from the very get-go. But what happened was that...
Oh, I missed something.
Yeah, so what happened was that when she arrived, obviously she has a picture of her uncle. She's like, you're not my uncle. He's like, I am.
I remember
that. And then he kind of threw her into the wolves, essentially, at the saloon and said, you need to tell people that I'm, your uncle. And she initially was like, I refuse. And so he kind of threw her in there.
Okay.
And eventually she started telling people, of course she's scared. Eventually she started telling people that he was her uncle.
Okay.
But obviously she knows that he's not.
Okay. I missed that little section and I am so sorry. I must have been over there reading the other movie.
It's all good.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because essentially he was showing like, hey, I didn't kill him. Like these aren't bullet holes. These are from arrows. So because he got killed by the Native Americans. So that was part of the conversation that went on. Because initially she's like, you killed him and you took over his life. He's like, I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
Yeah. But one thing I can glean for this movie is that everybody in the during the gold rush was named partner of the Southampton partners. Because when they do the titles up there,
Right.
Hey, partner, partner. I'm like, hey, everybody's named partners.
And then, like, when you see the talkies, these westerns at the talkies, and everyone's like, partner. It just continued on. Maybe this was the start of that.
Yeah. And this is the county that this is in. We talked about Redwoods. I mean, obviously, Redwoods is the name of the movie. It's Calaveras County. Mm-hmm. Now, that probably means nothing to anybody, but anybody, maybe it does. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's very, very bougie of me. But when I hear Calaveras County, the first thing that pops in my head is Mark Twain's story, The Frog Jumping Contest of Calaveras County. I don't think they're going to show that in here.
No.
They're not going to show that in this movie. I got to tell you, I know this is not considered suspense, but boy, am I hanging on the end of my seat to see when this lady figures out, this nice young girl, not even lady, figures out that this is not her. Well, she's figured it out when she finally gets to just have her revenge on this whole nonsense.
So what's interesting
if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be mad.
I didn't realize, I must have missed this last time. I thought this was the sheriff that got killed. It's actually the young guy.
Aww.
That he was waiting for gold to come from the mines, and essentially the gold got stolen, and this is where she finds the mask that he was wearing earlier, the handkerchief mask.
Oh.
And so
is that the
young
faux Pat
kid
O'Malley?
just died, and that's the letter from his mother, essentially. So she's realizing that these kind of repercussions, right? Like, okay, she knows now that Black Brown, who I think she's having some affection for, right? Like, okay, he's a thief. Mm-hmm. And then he, obviously, by stealing the gold, then caused that young guy to have a confrontation where he got shot and killed. And now his mother is going to have this grief because she's now lost her son. Not that she knows, because the letter just arrived. Okay, whose
stuff are they parceling out here? Hey, whose stuff is he handing out here?
It was like a mobile.
Okay.
Mobile shop. I don't understand why he buys a doll.
Is he starting to have feelings for her too?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though
he's buying her a dress.
Yeah, I see all that.
Yeah, no.
I wonder what happened to all those duds that she went out there with. I think they got lost or something. Is she packing up to go home?
Yeah.
About time. Lord, it took her long enough.
At this point, she's like, but...
Oh. He's knocking on the door with the doll's hand.
Yeah.
Well, he's bringing the creepy all the way around.
Well, before he was pushing around, etc., etc. Now he's like, oh, look at this amazing dress I got you.
Now I'm just
and look at this beautiful doll I found for you. Aren't you so excited? I don't understand the doll. He said to bring it to my little girl and ask.
He said,
it's about your size. I bought it.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He's so creepy. He doesn't know how to be nice, does he? But I'm going to go out on a limb here. Because it's called Romance in the Redwoods. Uh-huh. That somehow or another, there's the bandana with the eye holes.
Yep.
That he's going to win her over, or there's going to be some. Let's see. I'm seriously. If this isn't a suspense story, I don't know what is, because I am dying to know what happens. And so, if anybody can tell, I waited on this one because I was excited about it.
Well, plus you would have been watching the wrong film anyway. Which, once again, is terrible. It would have been a different perspective for sure.
Talk about murder and wine. That one stabbed me right through the heart. Okay. She is. You are going straight for the podcast name, aren't you? When you watch how the image, what do we call it? The logo, the stab to the heart. Yeah. That's based on this conversation right here. So you know.
Watching a film while drinking wine and stabbing you in the heart.
Stabbing her friend in the heart. Good Lord Almighty. Ouch.
So look at, now he's all like lovey-dovey.
Yeah, apparently rape's okay in this time period. Or at least sexual assault at a minimum. Of course, you see back then, you saw a lot of that. There wasn't, PC was not a thing then.
No.
I would direct you to D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation if you want to see some woofty-hoo. But it was an epic at the time. Luckily, we've evolved, right? She's struggling, I think, because I think she really likes, I think she's starting to like him.
Yeah.
Although I'm trying to figure out what it is she's starting to like.
Well,
I know, we all love the bad boy, right? We all love the bad boy.
But also I think he was trying to be a little bit better. But I mean, it's still like day 3 or something. I don't know. It seems like it's still very early.
Yeah, I don't mean to
only just met, but now he's like, I love you.
I don't mean to be a snob about this, but for somebody who's stealing a lot of gold, he sure doesn't live well. I mean, he's living in some old log cabin with pelts on the wall.
So I'm unsure too, because he just, at the beginning of, or like from the cabin scene, right? He just gave that old guy like all his gold to go take to like San Francisco or something, or Sacramento. I don't know. So I'm not sure, what's going on exactly.
Oh, he's promised to.
So she's
change his ways.
Yeah, he promised. He's, sent him off, and now he's trying to mine gold.
I'm just gonna assume the doll is in lieu of flowers and candy.
I guess. No, I mean it does come into play later on, but now she has she's probably the fanciest person in town.
She's one of the only women in town that aren't being paid for.
Well, that's very true too. Although there was at one point it was almost
because
you see how they're being more gentlemanly to her versus the women in the saloon, for sure.
They also think she's the niece of a very wealthy not gentleman, but uncle.
Yeah, that's true. But now she's asking, let me wash your shirts and stuff.
Would
you like stripping down? Let's do it.
She asked them if they had any shirts they want ironed, and boy, did they get naked fast.
So he's not having any luck so far.
But that is very true that during this time period, these towns were almost all men.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's why they would write away from mail order brides.
Right. No, that's true.
And how the madams, they weren't madam, but the Redwoods. We finally
this
see
is probably
one.
The prettiest scene, honestly. I think when she stopped at one point to figure out where the cabin was, and then this one where she's in the redwood forest. It's very pretty.
Okay, help me out here. Why did she volunteer to wash their shirts?
Because there's no money.
Where's his gold? Oh, he's not stealing anymore. He's going
straight. He's not stealing, so he doesn't actually have any money.
Is that why he doesn't dress like a cad and smoke anymore?
I guess he can't afford the tobacco, maybe. Now.
Oh, here's the temptation.
Yeah.
That man is always whispering in his ear. I think we need to boot him right out of this movie.
Yeah.
How much does he love her?
Well, he's trying. How about that?
Oh, you floozy. That was a floozy. Right?
I will say there's a lot of she was doing a lot of flirting between the guy that came into their place and just, I think, partially to make him jealous.
Oh, my.
That's the impression I got. But that was earlier in the film. Blow that hair out of your face. But you're talking about the facial expressions, very exaggerated.
But you can see why she ended up being so popular. Although I don't think she really translated into talkies. But at that point, when she'd been in the movies for a very long time, she's made her money. Yeah, she's kicking back. I mean, most of
the budget for this film was for her. For her. So
you figure this wasn't in it until you like it is now. Like we mentioned, Clint Eastwood earlier, which is until you're 95 years old, you're still out there doing it, just kicking back on her earnings and living her life and raising her children and doing what she needed to do.
Well, and think about it. She's head of or at least participating on all these other big activities too.
She's a producer. Yeah. She's formed a studio. She doesn't need to get out here and go through. But my point in bringing all that up is, at the end of the day, when it comes to when we talk about exaggerating motions and how they had to do things to convey what everything was being without sound.
Yeah.
She's actually not doing that. You watch this, and she's actually a pretty good actress.
She is. I mean,
especially
and
at a
there's
time
humor,
when they
right?
were over the top about
right.
aghast and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, there's a hint of it, but it's definitely not to some of the exaggeration that I've definitely seen before in other films.
And that's probably Mr. DeMille going, amp it up a little bit, lady. But all in all, a pretty good, because let me just tell you, I am a Bette Davis fan. Make no mistake. But there are certain early, like some Bette Davis movies, I'm like, oh, Betty, ramp it down a notch, because you can tell she's old method, she's amazing, one of the most decorated actresses there's ever been. But at the same time, there's still a little bit of hamminess to Bette Davis.
Well, I mean, even this interaction, right? Like, yes, there's lots of movement in that, but it's not over the top.
It's not over the top.
It's just enough. So, like, you can't just do a subtle, you need to really convey that story without being able to talk, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's more about body language. And she's doing very good with the body language.
Yeah. She's an easy watch.
Yeah.
And a pleasant watch, right?
Yeah.
So I can see why.
There's all sorts of emotions happening with her, and you are able to easily see what those are from her.
Yeah.
And it ranges, right?
And you can see why America loved her.
Like teasing to, humor to, being scared, and, all sorts of things.
How, this poor guy, the black brown, he's a goof now. He's fell in love and he's a big old goof.
He does seem a little bit more goofy, doesn't he?
Even his face is more goofy.
Yeah.
The cigarette disappeared. Apparently.
That's what it was. The cigarette was making him, remember? The cigarette was making him more sinister.
Ooh, she's going to make him jealous. So she asked him to take her to the Indian picnic. He said no, so she went to whoever this Yahoo is and said, I changed my mind and like to go with you. I mean, she's the only lady in town that's not being paid for. She's a hot commodity.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Which is ironic that she's a commodity, according to them. But, they obviously want to take a wife. Yeah. She got her pick of them.
Very much so.
Well,
and at this point, is black brown the best choice for her? Probably not. She actually
likes him. He's just still, he's just trying to change his ways, but he's still
depends on what you're looking for, right? Are you looking for the love, the romance?
Yeah.
You're looking for like stability. He doesn't give stability, right?
Right. Well, I also have to say, this entire movie, it's ironic that there's a whole town of men and the pickings are still slim. I haven't seen anyone that I'd throw you off a bridge for.
True.
But her first,
showing off her little gun.
There's that Dillinger again. Now, watch her in these scenes, how she's very coy, and I'm going to say it because she was the second Academy Award winner. Only the second one for coquette. And if you watch her, she's very coquettish.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm going to have to look up what I'm assuming is just kind of eye batting. Is what coquette means.
I think so.
Not like coquette you cook in the pan.
No.
Right. We know that. I'm teasing. But a coquette does mean kind of, what you would perceive as batting your eyes and being
a little flirty.
A little flirty, a little bit like touch the arm. But
it's like flirty, but I'm innocent.
But which was what she was known for.
Yeah.
America wanted to see her. She was very flirty yet virtuous.
Yes.
Why? She was America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything, was too overt to offend anybody's morals or mores. Plus, she was gorgeous. Let's face it, she was absolutely gorgeous.
So he's, robbing the stagecoach, but ultimately he's like, "This is for you." And they just realized that she just realized he's robbing the stagecoach, and he just realized that she was on the stagecoach. Oh, and that guy's a little suspicious, to say the least.
I think they know.
I'm pretty sure he knows. I mean, she knows, obviously.
Well, she doesn't want to get him in trouble, right?
No.
She's not a happy camper, though.
No, she's very upset about
Boy,
this.
is he going to get talking to when he gets home.
Obviously, the guy who's trying to take her away from him very much is suspicious about it. It looks like he pretty much knows. And guess what? He wants to marry her. What is he going to do? He's going to try to get the other guy out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, and then
the
you have a
vigilante committees.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Those are never good.
I bet you that guy she was just with is on it. What do you want to bet? Although they kind of look,
oh, there he is.
Yeah, told you. Who told you?
Yeah, he told me. I don't know how he. Oh, okay.
Where's all the partners? They must have left them out.
How would he partners?
Because he said boys, but maybe they just said, "Where's the partners?" Oh, we left them out of all this one. They're home. Aw. He's not stupid enough to think she doesn't know, right? Boy, she doesn't. I told you he's going to get a talking to.
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, he's trying his boyish charm, right? It's not working. She's like, no.
What the heck is that?
That's he shot his hand. So he wrapped it. Oh, he's saying that he got it from a mining accident.
Ah.
Oh, no, I shot you. Don't lie.
Oh, did she? Oh, I looked down for a second, or out, or over. Did she shot at that little I told you to leave a hole. Yeah. I told you to leave a hole. Oh, there it is.
So she's devastated.
Oh, she got a headache.
If he's wounded in the hand, he's our man.
If he's
Hey, that rhymes.
I didn't know Dr. Seuss was in this movie. If they have green eggs and ham, although we wouldn't know they were green, it's black and white.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
She'd rather be a wash lady than him be a thief. That's love right there.
She's trying to keep him on the straight and narrow, but and the thing is, he's coming back saying, I'm doing this for you.
Well, there's a little bit of gaslighting in that. Just, would you fall for that? Come on.
No.
Because I killed a man, but I did it for you. I'd be like, no. I don't need that responsibility. No. Figure that out. She's not buying it either.
No.
Let her handle it. Yes, let the woman handle it. She'll clean it up for you. So we've spent the entire movie talking about what a squirt she was. You know where I'm going with this real quick,
don't you? How tall is she?
I'm not going to say. Don't you dare look it up.
Does she happen to be a height of someone that is in this room?
No, she happens to be a height that's taller than somebody in this room.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to assume it is not me.
Tata, do you want to remain friends or don't you? I just don't hang around with super tall. Well, never mind. I hang around with you. Just leave.
Well, no, I mean.
So I Googled how tall she was, folks.
The guys that are there, the actors, they actually do seem very tall, though, right? Like, just generally. Even if she was, 5 foot.
But she's a squirt everywhere she goes. I'm not having a good time with this portion of the program. Let's just tell you. So I made the mistake because she's such a little thing.
Yeah.
Of course, she's also tiny everywhere else.
Right, she is.
She doesn't have the tatas and the melons, so she obviously looks smaller. So she got that going for her. But FYI, she's 5'5".
Okay.
There's no freaking way.
I think that seems wrong.
I think that, and that's just not this is not me Googling wrong, just so you know.
This seems like those gentlemen are like 7 feet tall then. There's no way in hell.
I'm not even kidding you that this is not me Googling Pat O'Malley. I swear to God. I said
knowing my height and knowing
there's no way.
Let's say they were,
that's
let's just
tall.
say they were 6 feet tall. There's no way. They're either a heck of a lot taller than that.
Well, I mean,
obviously, I'm not even talking about their hats. Obviously, they have top hats. Like, those make them even look taller, I should say.
Yeah, but I'm calling foul on this one myself.
I don't think that's right. That doesn't seem.
There we go. There we talking.
Oh, okay.
AI. Just for the record tonight, AI sucks. 5'1". I'm taller. FYI, I'm taller.
Yay.
5'1".
Well, that makes more sense then.
As little girls.
Yeah.
Scraping 5 foot.
But look at all the guys around her.
Yeah.
Okay, that one guy is about a little bit taller than her. Everyone else is like super tall.
This is why you can't believe the internet. I swear to God, I'll put how tall was Mary Pickford. I can show it to you. This isn't me. I swear to God, this is not me Miss Googling like with Mr. O'Malley. I
That's a
just
different
said,
story
how
altogether.
tall is Mary Pickford?
This
and
is
the
very
first thing
specific.
5'5", and it's like, there's no freaking way.
No.
Okay, and then she played, because she
would-
played children.
She would be slightly, shorter than me.
Because she became best known as an actress of children.
Yeah.
You're not 5'5". That's average, beyond a little. That's average height for a woman. A little bit below, but it ain't short,
No.
right? Okay.
I mean,
She was,
5'5" is
and this
pretty
was the
tall.
right one, saying she was scraping 5 foot.
Yeah.
You know what? I am not shorter than Mary Pickford,
No.
and I'm super proud about that.
Because, like I said, if that was her real height, was like 5'5",
no, there was no
all
way.
those guys would have been like giants.
Yeah, because every single one of these actors are literally looking at their feet to talk to her. He poked her. Oh, we got to talking about height, and we missed how he redeemed himself. What the hell happened?
Well, he hasn't really, has he?
Well, is she pleading his case?
She's pleading the case.
Oh, don't get on your knees, sweetheart. That's not a good look. Oh my gosh, they're gonna hang me. How are we gonna get out of this pickle? I told you, this is a suspense, whether you realize it or not.
It is, yeah.
I tell you, this makes
well,
sense.
And there goes the suitor. Oh, here, let me take you away and comfort you.
I'd just like to put out here that this makes Suddenly look like it was made in my basement. A lot longer than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Because usually silent films, remember we talked about this, it was whatever the film speed was. But if you also notice, this is super clean for a silent picture.
Yeah.
Super, super clean. Because usually they jump and hop and do all kinds of crazy stuff. This has been cleaned up.
Yeah.
There's no way that this has not been cleaned up.
I think the one that I had seen previously did have some jumps in it, right?
Yeah, but it's still a super clean silent
This one's
film.
like solid for sure.
Well, they have a way of
it's very
restoring
clear.
them.
It's very clean. Because some of the other ones are very like it's hard like this is a very hard scene to see,
right.
But a lot of them were like you could barely see what was going on. So it was like the film was very dark and
right,
not very clear.
Well,
really.
we're lucky to have
fuzzy.
it at all, as we talked about
That's
earlier
true.
and earlier in our show, and we're lucky to have it at all because so much. You know, one of my favorites, Nosferatu. Lucky to have it at all, and just so many of them were destroyed and just degraded. This was able to be obviously restored. It is a restored version, it has to be.
Yeah,
and it is one of the cleaner silent films. Whether anybody knows it, TCM used to have every Sunday night they may still would have silent movie night.
Okay.
And I used to watch it pretty religiously. Nice. Some of them are a hard watch because they're so degraded, so incredibly degraded, and there's just not much you can do with them.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's a painstaking procedure.
I thought at one point I was kind of considering.
Well,
no, I think this is the trick. At one point I was actually considering going into like film restoration, but I realized over time I don't have the patience. So,
yeah, I was going to say that takes
a lot of patience.
A lot of patience. And come on, man, you liked her once, let her out. So they've locked her in this room, and for not quite sure why she's ripped the doll apart. Tata is usually bigger and better at figuring these things out than I am.
Well, my thought was like she was going to use the doll to say, "Oh, we had a kid." Which I don't know how that was even feasible because you've only been here for like.
That's not going to go over. With her uncle, I don't think that's going to go over big.
Well, I think at this point they realize he's not the uncle, right?
Hold on. Here it is. I think this is the climactic scene, my
Let's
friend.
see. What is it? So she's providing a doll's dress, maybe? I don't know.
I think you're right.
Huh.
She's going to take the shame. Boy, they should get out of town after this. And they should run and not walk back to Boston. That's what she's doing, isn't it? She's hanging her head down, looking shameful.
Yeah, it's true. It's amazing. Like no one's heard a child or seen a child, but okay.
Or maybe it's not his, but she's. Oh, look at her. Yes, she looks
very shameful. Yeah.
She's willing to ruin her reputation. Yeah. Look at them all walk away. What a bunch of cowards. So remember how she was so clamored after? I don't think she'll be taken in washing anytime soon. Well, she needs somebody to take care of her. Maybe is that it?
But the thing is, if this other guy, the suitor, likes her so much, you know, he could still
see the close. Look, remember the close up?
Yeah. I mean, the suitor could offer her marriage, right? And they could still hang him.
I just hope he doesn't fall off that stool.
We're going to let you marry that cuss and give you a chance to make him straight. Okay, so
yay!
They're not going to hang him, so that's nice.
I guess they figured out somewhere along the line that he wasn't her uncle either, because that would be a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Smart on her, right?
I think when they figured like that he's the black-brown, obviously he's not the uncle, so.
Will you marry him? Will you marry her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a rope around my neck. What do you think? Oh, he's just with the beef. That's convenient.
Yeah. So now they're married. Get the hell out of here. Skedaddle.
I got to tell you, I like this for no other reason except, boy, does she have the upper hand. Because at any given time, she can go like, you know what?
But where's their child? Right?
Let's say, I suggest not sticking around for the... First of all, he's not going to be out. There's a saying from addicts, change your playmates, change your playground. Uh-oh, he figured it out. Because he found the doll. If he stays there, he's still going to be subject to peer pressure.
Oh,
that's what it's called. Especially, of his comrades that keep talking him into these bad deeds. Again, Boston, here we come. They figured out the doll. Here's the doll. Uh-oh. There's a suitor. What is it? I reckon I've been fooled by one small woman. What?
Now they're laughing. Okay, I guess she got us. Well, this is kind of our last scenes of the Redwoods as they walk away. When 20 men have been fooled by one small woman, they'd better take their medals. Well, I guess you're right there.
So he's a robber and a cad.
Right.
Whew. So where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Come on. This is the most suspenseful movie we've watched to date. So you know.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
They're just going to walk off into the redwood forest. Aw. Now what?
Thinking, they're probably going Sacramento or San Francisco maybe. Oh, or somewhere. Let's talk about our future. Somewhere in the future.
I mean, eventually they'll have a baby. It'll all even out, right?
Well, they got the clothes for it, so.
He holds it up. What do you think?
Uh-oh.
What you thinking? Uh-oh. We're in the redwood forest and all.
I think you guys need to get settled before you start doing that stuff, but.
Yes.
The end. So.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I enjoyed it.
I really did. I'm going to be honest. I was not expecting to.
No.
I do love silent pictures, but I do expect them to be very over the top. And maybe I enjoy them better with you because as we've noticed through this whole thing, so what happened there? What happened there? What do you think happened there?
Right.
So I need you to walk me through the non-subtitles. Or I don't think I pick up on the subtleties.
Well, I know even for myself, like watching it this round, I totally missed some stuff because I looked down, I looked away, and because you're not hearing the conversation, right? It is interesting because it's a different interaction, right, with the film, where it's like I can't look away for a moment and understand what's still going on.
Yes, but do not be too hard on yourself. Here's why.
No.
You called what she was going to do before she did it. That's pretty impressive. It's like she's going to say she's going to have a baby. And I'm like, no.
Oh, you're thinking like, what are the ways to get him out of it, right? Like, you know.
Well, you're also thinking in a way that I wasn't thinking. This is pre-Hays Code. So they could have, because if this would have been after the Hays Code, they would have never in a million years done it. Which is ironic.
It would have been better that he died. Essentially.
Yeah, they would have. He'd have fell off that stool that we were talking about. Because it'd have been like, I mean, we're after the Hays Code. It is 2 beds, and you know, even for married couples, and if it wasn't a married, 1 foot had to be on the floor. If they were sitting on the edge of the bed, 1 foot had to be on the floor. It was just all these. Yeah. So this is obviously this is the beginning of movies. And you called it, and that was very impressive. And it's like, I'll be damned, that's it. Exactly. And even pulling the doll apart, and you're like, well, here's what she's doing.
You know, that's weird,
like,
though,
that's
because
exactly
I
right.
actually thought she was going to take the, like, I was thinking she was going to take the doll sort of in, like, kind of, you know how, like, you see movies where they wrap the dolls in the blanket, so you can't really see the face or anything, but you still have it. Yeah. But at the same time,
where did that come from?
Because obviously she's only been here for a short period of time. There's no way she's pregnant and has had a child already.
But it was a smart solution, and it was, see, that they've never redone this is a travesty to film. I think, well, maybe it's better. I'm going to revert back to our middle of our conversation, and the jazz singer, some things, leave it the hell alone.
That's not to say that the storyline hasn't been
from now on,
somewhere,
every silent film I watch, and I do enjoy them, don't get me wrong. I'm also, if I'm being honest, I am you know my dark side.
Yeah.
I'm also Phantom of the Opera, Dr. Caligari's Cabinet, Nosferatu. Mm-hmm. So you throw the dark arts at me, right, and the gothic stuff at me. No. I don't need to follow a plot. I just watch the visuals of all the creepy characters going around.
Where for me, mine is more like, I need that happy ending.
Yes.
so the ones I tend to go for are definitely more, where's the happy ending? Because if it's not happy, then I don't watch it. Because it's sad.
Well, I got to tell you, you know, that movie, you're not wrong, because movies historically have always been, they're at the end. The bad guy has to get justice, has to get his, not justice, but his comeuppance. It's a hard word for me. Well, everybody, I hope. So there has to be a reckoning for the bad guy. And there has to be a settlement. And movies are still done in this formula. It's considered avant-garde when there's an open question at the end. Because it is proven time and time again, moviegoers want to see all things tied up. They don't want loose ends.
You don't want a cliffhanger.
You're not, unless there's a second movie behind it. And you're talking to somebody who at the end of the first end of, and this is modern, the Avengers, who thought it was going to be there, and they ended it on a cliffhanger. I about had a fit. I yelled in the middle of a movie theater going, what the heck? What? And my husband says, you didn't know this was a two-parter? I'm like, do I look like I knew this was a two-parter? I was indignant. I thought this was going to be the end. All these people died. Anyway, I won't belly you with the Avengers. But it is proven psychologically why movie studios do it over and over and over again. We want to see a happy ending. We want to see all loose ends tied up. We want to walk out going, wiping our hands of it. Of the whole thing. And I'm guilty of it myself too. But again, I love silent pictures, but as I watched this and I needed you to walk me through it, I very much gravitate towards the dark and brooding, which I still, with modern movies, I do this, but the dark and brooding and the very atmospheric.
And I think
silent
films are great for that too, right?
Oh my God, they're amazing.
I mean, the shadows, the brooding that happens, all of that. I mean, I think silent films are amazing for that. So that makes a lot of sense too, right? Like,
and this goes against what our podcast is.
It's more of the art of it, right?
Exactly.
More than anything else.
And this goes against what all of our but that doesn't mean we can't give a shout out to, because obviously when we do this, we're love of cinema, period.
Right.
And that doesn't, and
we're always, you hear us talk about all these different films, that we've watched, right? Whether they're
not
just more
pigeonholed into anything,
crime and murder. Like, hey, we like love stories and all sorts of stuff. I like me Doris Day. And
I tell you what, it wouldn't be that hard to put Doris Day in a murder picture. I'm telling you, Hitchcock could probably approach her to do it.
She was in a Hitchcock movie.
It makes sense, because Hitchcock loved the blondes.
Yeah.
He had an affinity for the blondes, too much so.
Yeah.
Today he would have been really wrapped up in the Me Too movement. But I will suggest, as far as silent films, I'm going to just go out there and say it, for just for my love of it, and I mentioned it a minute ago, which is Dr. Caligari's Cabinet. It is considered one of the tip-top movies of the era and one of the best in that genre of all time. But you have to be a silent, you need to be a bit of a silent film aficionado. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you are, you've got to go to it. And it's just it's not on the level of Nosferatu, which I think is the culmination of silent films. We all do, and again, lucky to have it. Those those were supposed to be destroyed as part of Bram Stoker's widow lawsuit against ripping, thinking they ripped, which they did, ripping her off on that. And Dracula. Part of the lawsuit was to destroy the copies. And thank God that we didn't, because it is considered not only the best, but one of the best movies of all time. And I don't know if you've seen it, but for anybody, I'm sure you have, because you're a movie buff. And whether you like silent films or not, you have to, because, and as somebody who's read Bram Stoker's Dracula, and the reason she probably sued him, it's the truest version of the book of all the vampire movies, Dracula movies that have ever been made.
And that film, for sure, the shadows are just amazing, and that's something that like really sticks with you, because like even as we were watching The Lady Vanishes, right, when the musician is killed, you see the shadows of the hands coming before they start to strangle the guy. So,
and we learn, like, you learn a story is what drives the movie. We get that. But how the story is told is so very, very important in all cinematic history. And one of those, and why cinematography, and I think we talked about this earlier, that Cecil D. DeMille was really instrumental in cinematography and developing how it goes. Because otherwise you're just watching, I don't know, you're holding up your iPhone and filming something. Not interesting to you at all, right? Yeah. But how, and Orson Welles, the master of all of it, of the shadows and the angles and the movement of how it goes in this, telling a story, but all of that makes the story exciting. Because otherwise, again, you can tell a story and sit here and film it on a phone. I don't want to watch it. I don't care how intriguing it is. Those things are so important. And directors like Cecil B. DeMille led the way for the Alfred Hitchcocks, for the Orson Welles, for the Coppola. Everything after that, was the moving, the Boone, and all of that, moving, which we take for granted now, of the air quote action shots. This goes back, as we can wrap it up, how he is why we see the cinema we see today. We wouldn't see it otherwise. And again, a story drives the plot, the picture, but the visuals keep us watching and going, wow, I want to see more of this. And I'm very much about, as I mentioned, I'm a very visual. I want to see something that goes, wow, that is a beautiful way to tell that story.
There's definitely films out there where there are specific scenes, like, maybe the whole film as a whole, I mean, it's more the storyline, right? Like, maybe I'm not happy with the storyline, how it ends or whatever, but
it's beautiful.
There are beautiful scenes in that film, and it's just, those are the things that I remember from certain films.
Yes.
And it's just, and those are the ones that, like, I got to show you the scene, right? Like, those are the things that you want to go and show people. And whether it's just the way that it was, the scene, or the way, the technique that was used, that was like, wow, whatever they did here was so unique that I hadn't seen before, or just the way it was used in this scene is truly, like, really amazing.
Yeah.
It's really unique. Or
It's what sticks with you.
Yeah.
I mean, a good example to me from my own personal experience, and I'm gonna have to admit it. And as a movie buff, this is a hard admit. It's a hard admit. I have never sat because it's an amazingly long movie. Is Lawrence of Arabia with Peter O'Toole. Oof. And I have made many attempts, and it's one of the greatest. But you know what I have seen, and I've watched pieces of a million times. It is a very long movie. It's a good movie, but it's a long movie.
Yeah.
And Peter O'Toole is, as he always is fantastic. But what Lawrence of Arabia is, they do it in IMAX, and they still have reshowings. It's the cinematography of it all. And when you think about Lawrence of Arabia, I couldn't tell you one word that's uttered in that complete movie. And again, I haven't sat through it just because it's based on a true story. Yep. I know how it goes. And 3 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever it logs in at, it has an intermission if it gives you any indication how long it is. Not terribly interesting, the storytelling of how I know how it ends kind of thing. But what has got my interest to watch a significant portion of it and the snippets I have is the cinematography, which is absolutely beautiful and stunning and goes back to, I promise you, the whole thing, nod, bow to Cecil DeMille. So don't tell me that when you think about some movies, when you say that was an amazing movie, yes, there's ones that you go, it touches you for whatever reason it does. But as a whole, we remember things based on how it engrosses us and how the movie moves and the scene and whatever. I think that's just my personal opinion. But my favorites are the ones that I can go, the movie I saw was just wow.
I think
dialogue second, I think, but cinematography is tops.
Right, the scenes in that, because dialogue is definitely one where I feel like dialogue tends to be the ones that it makes me hate the character so much and obviously that's good writing, or that's good, that's a good film, right? Where I'm actually hating this person and their actions, right?
Oh yeah, where you're like you forget, really, you're like whoa, I forgot this is just a movie. Right, exactly.
But then obviously they're like Gone with the Wind, right? Like I absolutely hate Scarlett O'Hara. She's a terrible person, terrible mother. And by the way, in the book she has even more kids that she's even
you read the book and she's worse in person. She's worse in the book than she is in the movie.
But
Vivian Lee,
those scenes, right, within the movie, like thinking about the burning of the town and everything, like wow, right? Like such an amazing scene and how they did that. And I'm trying to or thinking
that's what you remember, right?
Exactly.
Because
there's that dialogue,
you're making a great point, because when you read the book or any book, do you not visualize how you think that is moving through? Now there's some, let's face it, you're a huge Jane Austen fan. Yeah. Gothic novels are a little bit different because they tend to plod. I love Gothic novels, but you better have a good sit and you better have a good patience level, because you're going to hear about how every flower, cloud, home, you're going to get details of what the chair legs look like. Yep. That's just how it worked. They're classic. But when you watch a Pride and Prejudice, we just talked about this earlier. When you watch a Pride and Prejudice movie, it's a romance. Yeah. But if you read the novel, serious to God, it's going to describe things. You're going to get to 20. I've talked about it. How many pages of describing what the room looked like, and if you put that in film, people would snooze right the heck off. So you have it, and you get these. The Shining is I'm skipping from Jane Austen, The Shining, very, very quickly. I've read the book, but when you watch the movie, which, by the way, Stephen King hated, but they're the visuals. It's all the visuals. And again, if anybody's lost the plot of why we're talking so much about cinematography, it's because this man, the director of this movie, set the time,
Made
wrote
a
the
standard
book,
for it, right? Yeah.
and told you what to do. And it's easy to forget a century later that you're not watching those movies that thrill you. And I'm talking about Mad Max, Fury Road, which I usually don't like those movies. I got hauled to a movie theater to watch it. I watched Mad Max, the original, on HBO when HBO was HBO. And it was like, before Mel Gibson was Mel Gibson, right? But I got hauled off to the movie theater to watch Mad Max Fury Road. And I'm like, whoop-de-hoo. Okay, let's go. But I got to tell you, I probably couldn't tell you except for, what is it called? Gold? Silver? Something. Gold something. See, it tells you what I know. But they spray painted their face. And somebody's going to write in one of those letters. Go gold. No, it wasn't gold. Anyway, whatever color they went. But what I do remember that I ended up loving the movie is the cinematography is probably one of the best I've ever seen to date. It was amazing. And I was so glad I saw it at the movie theater. And I got taken against my will. And if I'm being honest, trust me, the dialogue because dialogue is my second favorite. You give me crisp, nice dialogue. We'll get into Fargo way down the road.
Yep.
Nice, clean dialogue will get me every time. But what I remember when I go home is what I saw. So thank you, Mr. DeMille. As Nora Swanson, am I right about this? It's getting late. Who was ready for a close-up. Different movie, different genre.
Sunset Boulevard, right?
Yes. Thank you, my love. And I'm fairly certain in the movie, it's been a million years since I've seen it, she was supposed to be in the Cecil DeMille era.
Well, I think he was playing in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was playing himself in that film.
Yes. I'm remembering it right?
Yeah.
It's pretty late. I'm pretty impressed that I'm remembering it that late.
It's was it Gloria Swanson?
Gloria Swanson.
Yeah.
And William Holden. And I'm seriously impressed that I'm remembering at this stage of the game.
So another silent film star, right, that I'm sure he worked with. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, my final is thank you for the bell. Thank you for all of his contributions and why we love movies and what we come home with. And again, dialogue is super important. There's a million things in movies that are important, but let's face it, when we go to see movies, we're looking for visuals, right? And he set the stage for visuals.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah, where would we be today if we didn't have the innovation and the kind of just putting yourself out there to try new things.
Yeah, we'd be watching Kevin Smith movies all the time. Sorry, if Kevin Smith ever starts to follow us, I will retract that statement kind of, sort of, a little bit, but not all the way. I get Clerks, I get the whole thing, but I've gotten that wrong I got a trivia question wrong on a Kevin Smith movie, and I've never forgiven him since. And I should have known it. And I got it wrong.
Clerks is a great movie too.
Okay, we're gonna. Well, that's a whole other podcast about that. But anyway, if Kevin Smith ever listens to us, here's how it goes. It's like, send me one of those letters that I need that I talked about a million times during this podcast, and I'm only mad at you because I got one of your movies wrong in a trivia questions. Write me and beg for my forgiveness.
This concludes the Booby Trap Podcast Accessory Reel for the film A Romance of the Redwoods. We hope you enjoyed joining our conversation as we watched the film. Feel free to leave comments about our discussions and commentary on our social media channels. Please join us in the main A Romance of the Redwoods podcast episode as Tata and Mamie delve into the criminal themes identified throughout the film.